Hey guys, if you haven't already, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel. This is a what if series and I'll be doing more down the road. Plus Ultra! Hey guys, and welcome to What If Naruto Was Like Itachi. So yeah, it's been a minute since I've been posting a video, possibly like 15 days, and I want to apologize to you guys about that because usually that doesn't happen, but I had some personal shit I needed to take care of, and most of that time was directed towards script writing, so you're gonna see a lot of more videos coming out due to this being the final part and a special for this video. Anyway, so just like that, I'm back on posting my regular videos like I do, either 2 a day or 1 a day. Most likely you're gonna see something new on the channel at least a day. It's not gonna be like a 15-day wait or anything like that anymore. So, and one thing I do gotta mention is that we're almost like 500 subscribers away from reaching 10,000. That's pretty much incredible, because see, I would have never thought my channel would have ever got that far, and the milestone that I've reached, yes, that's incredible. Now, anyway, I don't want to waste you guys' time any longer, so let's just get into the video of where we left off. So, Naruto had created a clone, one to follow Sasuke. I hope I didn't mention that in the last part, but one to follow Sasuke and to go after Gaara, and the other to follow after the Hiruzen. So that battle went just like it did in the last video, with Naruto stabbing his sword through Jirobo, and the Sound 4 having to grab Orochimaru and basically leaving, like retreating, getting out of dodge, because if they would have stayed there, they would have been dead in a matter of seconds. Now, this is where Naruto clutches his eyes in pain, but his Sharingan basically deactivates and his eyes just go normal. Now, Naruto's vision is a little blurry because he's overusing his mangekyo Sharingan. Now, this is where Hiruzen thinks of an idea. He says in his head, I'm glad Minato left me his eyes. I can give them to Naruto. He told me something like this would happen. But now we do a little flashback to Minato when he's on the ground dying with blood out of his mouth. And he tells the third Hokage, Lord Third, do me a favor. If Naruto ever manages to access his Mangekyo Sharingan, and if so, he does manage to awaken that kind of power, if he overuses his eyes, he will go blind. Coughing. Now Minato will cough up blood, and he would look at Hiruzen with very lifeless eyes, and he would say, please make sure Naruto is okay. Please give him my eyes when the time is right. And then Minato passed away. Now we're in the current present to where Minato, not Minato, but Hiruzen is thinking of doing this for Naruto. And yeah, everything played out per normal with the attack in the village and everything. So now we go back to where Gaara at, and let's just say this right now. With Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke there. Now you got two Uchihas there, and both of them has 3 Tomoe Sharingan. And then you got Sakura, who's not a slouch in this sorry, I had to swallow. And who's not a slouch in this particular series. She's not a slouch. She actually strong and got trained by Naruto multiple times. So all 3 of them versus Gaara by himself, even if he has the Shukaku, even if he transformed into his big Shukaku form, it wouldn't do him any justice, to the point he cannot handle all 3 of them, let alone even handle Naruto at that. So I think Gaara himself, without Naruto or Sakura having to intervene, would get bodied badly. Now I might be lowballing Gaara to a point, but I might be lowballing this, but I'm just saying, in my opinion, I don't think Gaara could do anything with Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. So I really think he would get bodied in that period. Literally, he wouldn't have no arsenal or nothing to basically hit them with. It would just be over in that immense of a flash. I mean, Naruto wouldn't be using his Sharingan since he doesn't have enough chakra to use his Sharingan like that, because he basically exhausted his eyes. Well, his clone exhausted his eyes, and he still can feel that fatigue in his power. Naruto still has a lot of chakra, but the Sharingan can, if you use it to an extent to the point you strain, yeah, it's going to deactivate on you. And you've seen it happen multiple times in the series. But even so, Naruto's skills is somewhere still on a high Jonin low Kage level and possibly mid Kage level at this point. So now Naruto, like everything's been reconstructed. Gaara got that little talk no jutsu, and it was more of a talk no jutsu that changed Gaara's heart even more, to the point he started crying, like bawling out his eyes. And Naruto sat right next to him saying that, you don't have to be alone. For a while, this village has treated me like I was some kind of monster, a demon, like a mistake. They wanted to hurt me. They wanted to basically get rid of me. So many names I was called, and the feelings from the energy from these villagers, I always wondered why in the world would they treat a kid like this? Would they put a kid through this kind of pain? Now, Gaara would be looking at him and say, what do you want? You've won. Just leave me alone. And Naruto says this, no, I won't, because you've been left alone your whole entire life. You had nobody to call a friend. You had nobody to hold on to drag you out of the pits of darkness. But right now, I'm holding my hand out to you, Gaara. I promise you won't ever be alone again. You will never be alone in the darkness, for I will be your light, and I will help you through your pain. I'm sorry for a long time that you felt this kind of attention from your village, and even more sad that the village would try to hurt you in any kind of way by getting someone that was close to you to try to kill you. That must have traumatized you a lot. Now this is where Gaara's eyes widen, and he's like, you know about... And then he just turns his head and just starts crying. I know a lot about this world, the way the world works, how past events came into the present, and about all the tailed beasts. I've learned a lot through my childhood, practiced a lot through my childhood, even trained a lot through my childhood, because that's all I had. I had to hone my skills. I had to get stronger to create a world where peace is not just a distance away, but it's right in, like it's in your grasp. It's right around you. You can feel the energy, the connections from it. Now Gaara would be sitting there looking at Naruto, and he would tell Naruto, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's all he could say. Now Naruto would just look up and say, don't worry about it. Just for the future, try to go down a different path, because there's always good things ahead of you. There's always good, positive stuff that comes your way. You don't always have to focus on the negatives and the way the life treats you. You've got incredibly strong all by yourself. Now, this is where Temari and Kankuro would come in and get Gaara, and Naruto would just be sitting right there and he would nod his head. Now, they would jump away with the same thing happening in canon, with Gaara just crying his eyes out, telling both his sister and brother that he's sorry. He's sorry for treating them like they were pests or that they weren't important, because they've always been there in his entire life, and he thanks them for that. He thanks them for never turning their back on him. And they tell him it's all right, because both of them felt his energy. They felt his pain, and they shed a tear, because that's the kind of brother that they really wanted to see. They've been seeing like a murderous psychopath their entire life, so to see this side of Gaara really shocks them. So now everything plays out per normal. Everything plays out normal, and Naruto is with his eyes wrapped up. Now this is where he gets a knock on the door, and it happens to be the third Hokage. Now the third Hokage tells Naruto to come to the medical ward. And this is where he gets some highly skilled ninjas and tells Naruto that your eyes have been going blurry, haven't they? And Naruto was basically, he smiles and laughs a little bit and says, you know, I guess that new power I got, my mangekyo Sharingan, I'm pretty sure you know about it, Lord Third. Even my father had it, because he lost somebody close to him. And the Lord Third would be like, yeah, he lost Rin. Kakashi and Obito, I guess they all lost someone that night. Kakashi was still pretty much alive, wasn't he? Yeah. So what about the Obito kid? Is he still around? No. I'm pretty sure he died. I guess you didn't look that far into your father's team. I did. I just stopped reading because it just felt kind of, you know, you want to meet that person, be around that person, and like learn their energy and figure out stuff about them. That's most likely what I wanted to see. Anyway, so what do you want, Lord Third? Well, I came here to tell you something that Fugaku should have told you, but I guess he didn't. Yeah, but I guess he was always stubborn. It was a stubborn man to the end, but anyway, what did you want to tell me? It's enough reminiscing about the past and events that played out. So nothing's going to change and those people are not going to come back. Now, Hiruzen would be feeling the sadness from Naruto's voice because deep down, Naruto really does miss his fellow Uchiha. He missed Fugaku even more because all that time he felt like more of a father to Naruto than a sensei to Naruto. He even missed training with Shisui and picked up a few techniques from him and was sad that Shisui had died. So a bunch of pain did happen in Naruto's childhood to push him to the point to where he is now. So as everything continues on, Hiruzen goes to tell Naruto that your father, the fourth Hokage, left something for you. He said to me when he was dying that if a time ever came that your eyes would manifest into your Mangekyo Sharingan, that I give you his eyes, so that your light will never dim, so that you will never go blind and be trapped in darkness forever. Naruto smiled at this and says, he's giving me presents when I haven't even met him. And Naruto says, so how does this all work? Well, I don't know too much about the Uchiha. I don't know too much about their prowess. But I do know I do know what Minato told me how to go about it. So whenever you want the procedure to be done, come with me. Now Naruto basically ponders this in his head and he just accepts. He goes with Hiruzen to the medical ward and they start the examination on Naruto's eyes. Now 3 weeks have passed since Naruto had the bandages on, and this is the last day and Naruto has to keep the bandages on, and this is where Naruto hears a knock at the door, and it happens to be Jiraiya Sensei. Now Jiraiya would come to Naruto and he would say, hey Naruto, it's been a minute since we last talked to each other. Now Naruto would say, oh hey Jiraiya, what's wrong with your eyes? Now this is where Naruto would say, it's just bandages on my eyes, just waiting for everything to heal properly and to test out my new strength. Now this is where Jiraiya would say, the Lord Hiruzen has summoned us to his office, so come with. So Naruto and Jiraiya would journey to the third Hokage's office, and this is where Hiruzen would say, it's been a long time of me being a Hokage. From me being a student, a genin, to a chunin, to a jonin, and even having my own squad to the point of me becoming the Hokage of this village. And I protected this village with my life. Care about every person in this village. The kids, the elders, even the middle-aged and the adults. The way the construction, everything has a piece has a place in my heart. And it means so much that I still can look out the window and see so much people being happy. And that's all because of how the Hokage had protected. Now, Naruto would say, so what do you mean? What is this all coming to? Well, my boy, I'm getting very old age, and it's time for me to retire. It's time for a new Hokage to take this spot, to fill in the shoes, to become the leader of this village, and to protect the lives in it. Now, Hiruzen would be looking at Jiraiya, and Jiraiya would instantly say, no. I turned this down before because I'm not Hokage material. More built on gathering intel and being a spy. It's learning about other villages and learning about their plans. Some of them don't like us. Some of them breeds hatred towards this village. And I fear that someday that hatred is going to come towards light. We're going to have a big problem on our hands. Now, Jiraiya basically just tells Hiruzen that I know someone who will be perfect for this job. I know someone who would love this position. And he would say, I think I know who you're talking about. And Jiraiya would come to the conclusion and say, yes, Lady Tsunade. I noticed that she's in this whole village town, most likely at a bar. But I guess me and Naruto can go and catch up with her and see what's going on and see if we can bring her back to the village. Now, Hiruzen would say, all right, I'll give you guys a week, possibly 2 weeks at the most. Now, since Orochimaru hasn't got his whole arm seal thing or anything like that, he wouldn't need to go to Tsunade for healing and to give her that kind of offer that he did in canon. So Naruto and Jiraiya would journey to the town, and this is where Naruto is in his basically room, and he's just throwing the ball up in the air, just tossing up in the air. He's in his hotel room while Jiraiya had to do some personal work, some perverted work, in Naruto's opinion. So Naruto's just throwing the ball up in the air, back and forth, and hears a knock at the door. Now he feels malicious intent from the other side of this door, and Naruto goes to say, this presence. It feels very familiar. Now, Naruto, keep in mind, still has the bandages over his eyes. So Naruto can't use his eyes yet until like the next day, because that's when everything's fully healed. So he doesn't trust using his eyes yet. So he's going to basically rely on his senses and his skills. So Naruto basically opens the door, and he instantly says, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, Itachi, since the whole Uchiha massacre. And you must be Kisame. This day just got very, very interesting. I gotta be careful around you two, because I think you two work perfectly with each other. With you with that whole shark sword shit, and Itachi with his eyes. But you want to know something that's really, really crazy, Itachi? And Itachi will look at Naruto and say, that doesn't matter. You need to come with us now, Naruto. Naruto would say, you're heavily outmatched, Itachi and Kisame. Well, most likely just you, Itachi, because you harbor a sickness. You're sick and your eyes are dimming on you. If I were to go full out, you would not win this battle. It will resort in you guys retreating. Now Kisame would swing at Naruto with his sword, and Naruto would catch it very effortlessly. And this is where Kisame would sense that Naruto has some overwhelming strength. And Naruto basically grabs the sword, digging his nails into the sword and basically pushing it right back into Kisame, sending him through a wall. Now Naruto basically brushes his hands off and says, now that he's gone, maybe me and you can talk. So Naruto basically just makes a genjutsu or a paradox like Itachi did when he dragged Naruto into this whole genjutsu that he said he just wanted to talk. So Naruto and Itachi is just talking. So basically this is Naruto and Itachi are just giving a rundown to each other, and Itachi basically has not meant to that. He just wanted to see how Naruto's developed. He's heard a lot about him and basically how similar he is to him. Well, I feel like I can trust you with this information, Naruto, since me and you are so much alike. I've already came into the village looking for you, meaning that the village has already suspicion of what we are, what the Akatsuki are, and what their plans are. So now I've came here to basically retrieve you. My intentions are to basically as a spy, basically sent as a spy to work for the Akatsuki and to learn their plans. And their plans is to capture all tailed beasts, literally each and every one of them. Now, this is where Naruto would basically be looking at Itachi and saying, so you're telling me that I need to basically make a journey to capture, well, not capture, but bring all the tailed beasts Jinchuriki together? That's precisely what you need to do. See, you're just like me. You're very smart and intellectual. You have a lot of knowledge, and I bet you know about every tailed beast. the way the world is and how events came to the past and how stuff turned out for the worse. And if things keep progressing the way it is, it's possibly not going to be a good future for our children and children's children. And Naruto just looks down and says, I know. And I can feel that. Now, this is where Itachi basically tells Naruto that the Akatsuki are going to hunt down each and every one of those tail beasts in brutal ways, possibly even killing them and then extracting their tail beasts, or basically just knocking them unconscious. And this is what Naruto would say, I won't let that happen. Now, Itachi just smiles at him and says, you really do remind me a lot about basically me. It's like just seeing a mirror reflection of myself. Naruto smiles at this and gives Itachi a thumbs up and tells him that Sasuke is getting stronger. He's already activated his 3 Temori Sharingan in both eyes and got well adjusted to them. Soon, very soon, he should be able to unlock his Mangekyo Sharingan in a different way. And Itachi was saying, what way would that be? Well, if I'm going to be correct, it could be a way similar to me putting him in the Tsukuyomi. And Itachi's eyes would widen and say, wait, you have the Tsukuyomi? Well, I guess since I was birthed through Uchiha, I was birthed with the power to put a person in a time paradox, similar to your kind of jutsu. It comes in handy a lot, very much so. Itachi would look at Naruto with very interesting eyes and say, you've piqued my interest a lot, Naruto. Shisui and Fugaku, well, father, would be very proud of you. The both of them would shed tears, and this is what Naruto would say, was it worth it, Itachi? I want to know from your perspective, was it worth killing Dad and Mom over that? Even though they weren't my biological parents, I still felt like a home with them. Fugaku felt like more of a father to me than a sensei. And Itachi would tell Naruto that it was the most hardest thing that he ever had to do. But if he didn't, then a war would have started. A war between the Uchiha and the Leaf Village. It would have caused a lot of casualties, a lot of bloodshed, and a lot of pain that Itachi did not want to see again. Now this is where Naruto would say, I understand. You single-handedly stopped a war from happening. Anyway, I look forward to talking to you again, Itachi. And I do apologize, but I can't let you take me. Now the total time paradox thing would end and Naruto would basically shoot a fireball at Itachi and basically vanish away into a bunch of crows. Now Itachi would smile at this and Kisame would come running back in with his sword out and he would say, damn it Itachi, you let the Jinchuriki get away. Now this is where Sasuke would come in out of nowhere and rush at Itachi with a Chidori in hand. Now Itachi would look at Sasuke and barely, like Sasuke was like inches away from piercing through Itachi's shoulder. He instantly swiped Sasuke's hand away, but Sasuke, keep in mind, has been training with Naruto for some time. So Sasuke came in with a kick to the jaw and kicked Itachi through the ceiling. Now Sasuke will be right there in his face and send a thunderous punch to Itachi's stomach, sending him crashing through a bunch of buildings. Now Naruto would be hearing this commotion and he would be like basically breathing out, like letting out a sigh, saying, Sasuke, why did you come here? I guess it's because you have a personal vendetta out for Itachi, but at least if you knew the truth, you would know why your brother why he had no choice. I don't like dealing with this, but oh well. So Naruto would jump right in between Sasuke and Itachi's battle and Naruto would instantly grab Sasuke's leg and throw him into the ground, creating a crater and knocking Sasuke out in the process. Now, Sasuke was basically overwhelmed with hatred and rage and was rushing into the battle and possibly was giving Itachi some run for his money until Itachi had to use his Mangekyo Sharingan to keep Sasuke at bay and almost put Sasuke in a genjutsu. Now, this part right here would change a lot about the timeline in the original canon, since Sasuke didn't get put in the genjutsu, but still Sasuke does feel some kind of resentment, is he still weak? Why did Naruto intervene in his battle? He had Itachi. Now Sasuke is gritting his teeth as he wakes up from his coma. Well, not coma, just wakes up from being knocked out. Now this is where Kisame and Itachi already made their leave, since Jiraiya had came in and they don't want to cause more damage than they already need to. So Guy Sensei came to retrieve Sasuke, and Sasuke is basically clenching his fists and angry to the fact that Naruto had to jump in, and he says, Naruto, when you get back to the village, I want you to meet me at the training field. And he just walks off with Guy. Now Naruto basically senses where this is going, and he just thinks to himself, oh Sasuke, you want to fight me, don't you? Anyway, can we continue on, Jiraiya Sensei? This trip is getting boring and I really need to get back home. So can we just go get Lady Tsunade? So they would all journey to go get not they all. Naruto and Jiraiya would journey to go get Lady Tsunade, and she happens to be in the bar. So he would say, hey Tsunade, long time no see. And both of them would sit at a table, and Tsunade would go on to start mocking the Hokage, saying that they're a waste of space, that there's a waste of time for them to be Hokage since they don't protect anyone, they let people die. And Naruto would basically look at her and say, what is wrong with you? You can't go blaming the Hokage for the death of your lover and your brother. You can't go blaming the Hokage for shit that happened in the past that traumatized you. You are a ninja. And ninja are built to endure. You're drinking your life away because you can't handle the pain. Then why did you become a shinobi? Why were you a part of the legendary Sani? And Tsunade would basically crush her glass in her hand and say, this kid has got a lot of balls to be talking to me like that. And Naruto would say, it has nothing to do with being cocky or having balls or anything like that. It's just basic common sense that the Hokage are the leaders and protectors of the village, and they do what they can, even though to you it's not enough. You're basically blaming the Hokage for shit that was out of your control, and the only thing you can blame it on is hatred, pain. The way this world is the reason why your brother and your lover died, and you couldn't protect them. Now, Tsunade would have a huge amount of anger in her eyes and saying, you cocky little snot-nosed brat, meet me outside right now. And Naruto would basically just shrug his shoulders and say, oh well. Now, this is where Naruto would start to feel that his eyes was healed, since it's basically 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, just saying that. So he would start to take the bandages off, and it would reveal that Naruto's in his Sharingan, his normal Sharingan, not his Mangekyo Sharingan, just his normal Sharingan. Not his EMS, put it that way, since Naruto has his EMS now. Now, at this point right now, this young Naruto is at a high Kage level. Yes, high Kage level at this point. Now, because no low Jonin level, he's at a high Kage level due to he's not using any of his Mangekyo Sharingan powers yet. But just keep in mind that Naruto it's going to unleash some brutal, and I mean some brutal techniques. Now, Naruto has his Sharingan activated, and he's looking at Lady Tsunade, and he tells her that you will not be able to hit me. I will basically show you how fast I am, and the reason why they call me the Scarlet Flash, Red Flash, or the Crimson Flash. Any one of those names. Have you heard of it? Lady Tsunade just scoffs at this and tells Naruto that stop talking and show me what you're made of, brat. Now Naruto would basically just look at her and instantly appear behind her. Now Lady Tsunade would swing a huge punch that Naruto would dodge, and all of a sudden he just put his hand basically on her stomach. Now Naruto basically jumps away and he says, now, let me tell you something, Lady Tsunade. This battle is over. I've already marked you. You're not going to be able to get away from me. You're not going to be able to attack me. You're not going to even be able to counterattack me. And this is where Lady Tsunade just says, what are you talking about? And Naruto instantly, simultaneously starts hitting her from each direction. A punch to the face, a punch to the ribs, a punch to the stomach, a kick to the leg. Lady Tsunade is getting attacked from each and every angle and can't seem to grab or hit Naruto. So she basically just hits the ground and Naruto just teleports in the air and shoots a fireball down at her to the point she just punches the fireball and disperses it. Now Naruto is right behind her and has a kunai to her neck and says, this battle is over. I could have killed you in a matter of seconds, and you know that. Now, Naruto, with his eyes, and he's adapting to his new speed. I mean, the mangekyo, well, the eyes that his father had, yeah, is giving him a dramatic improvement. Like, not dramatic, but a semi-huge boost. Now, as Naruto basically tells Tsunade that she's at a heavily disadvantage, Tsunade gets angered and elbows Naruto dead in the stomach. Now, Naruto feels the pain from this, but he would counterattacks with a kick to Tsunade's jawline and send her flying through the street. Now, Naruto basically coughs up spit due to the impact from the punch from her, and he says that she's indeed strong. Now, Naruto stands back up and he tells Tsunade that we cannot fight here. We're going to hurt innocent people. So I'm going to basically use my eyes. And if I put you in a genjutsu, you will not be able to escape. I'm going to show you hell and show you pain over and over again. Do you want to see that? And Tsunade would basically just laugh at Naruto, saying that this battle is far from over. Until you can knock me out, then that's when you win. And Naruto basically just flexes his eyes, his EMS Sharingan, and puts her into a Tsukuyomi. Tsunade, being cocky, angered, drunk at the same time, wouldn't be able to counterattack this. I mean, wouldn't be able to look away from this because she's already underestimating Naruto enough as it is. So Tsunade basically sees her lovers, everyone that she knows and loves dying around her. The Leaf village, everyone in the village dead. She's looking around her and she sees nothing but bloodshed and blood falling all over, and Tsunade instantly starts to freak out and then starts to cry, and Naruto basically wraps his arms around her and hugs her as she's on her knees crying out. And Naruto says, it's alright, but I win. I'm sorry, I don't like doing this, but you have to see. You have to stop putting your life at ends meet. You have to stop drinking yourself to death, because it's more in this world. It's more than just gambling and rotting your life away at the end of a bottle. Now Tsunade will look at Naruto and he has a very warm smile that reminds her of the two people that she had in her life. And Naruto looks at her and says, I want to bring peace to this world. I want to be in a world to where people close to us never dies again. Like you and anybody else won't ever have to feel that kind of pain. No more. Ever again. I just want to establish peace. And Tsunade would feel this from Naruto. She would feel the harmony from his energy, his aura, his chakra. She would say that this kid has a dream. And then Naruto says the words that make Tsunade's heart bounce. And he says, I want to be Hokage, the first Uchiha to ever be Hokage, and the first to change the way this village sees me and the way the world is. I don't want to just become the Hokage of the village, but I want to become a Hokage so I can change the world for the better. And Tsunade would instantly just stand up and say, this kid. And she just basically just kisses Naruto's forehead to Naruto just be shocked by this, and she gives him the necklace. This was the first Hokage's necklace. Take good care of it, because I'm trusting you with it. Tsunade would agree to come back to the village to become the 5th Hokage, and everything would play out normal with that. Now, as Naruto and Jiraiya, they journey back to the village, Naruto and Sasuke happen to be standing out in the training field. Now, Naruto basically tells Sasuke to give him everything he got. And Sasuke says that you keep getting in my way. I had my brother right where I wanted him. And Naruto says, no, you didn't. Itachi was letting all that happen to you. And one thing that Itachi is going to have to forgive me for. I will not let you go down the path of hatred, Sasuke. I'm not going to keep any lies from you. I won't keep any secrets from you. So I want you to sit down and just listen to the truth about your brother. And Sasuke's eyes widen and he says, what do you mean the truth? Sit down, Sasuke, or I will force you to sit down. Now Sasuke sits down and Naruto and Sasuke basically gets into a conversation about the whole events of basically telling Sasuke about the true intentions, the true colors of Itachi. And that's where we're going to leave this video off for now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I guess this is going to be a series, I guess, because every time I say it's like a final part, it's like I'm ending it because I'm enjoying the story, really. I'm enjoying the story so much that I really don't want to end it. I know you guys might like be happy about that. Some of you might be happy. Some of you might be sad about that because you want to see something else on the channel. You want to see the other what ifs that you like. Some of you asking me about what if Naruto was Vegeto's reincarnation? What if Naruto was Jiren? What if Naruto was Beerus? All of that is coming, I promise. It's not like I'm discontinuing it or basically putting it on a back burner or it's not coming on the channel anymore. It's coming. I promise you, it's coming. So anyway, without any further ado, you guys have a good day, a good night, and plus ultra. Good night, guys. The like goal for the video will be 100 likes. If you guys can reach 100 likes, I will have a video out as soon as possible, I promise.